Hello, today we're going to talk a little bit about RezSystem and the administrative or agent side of RezSystem. What happens when you log into the system and how you can make reservations. Now, when we actually talk about RezSystem, there's three things you can do on the administrative side. You can make and manage reservations, you can make and manage tours, and you can run reports. And we're going to cover those other two pieces, the last two pieces, in separate videos. But today we're going to really talk about how to make a reservation as an agent in RezSystem. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to come to RezSystem.com and you're going to click on the login button. Once you do that, it's going to bring you into the system and it's going to land you at a page that looks just like this. This is your dashboard. So depending upon your user permissions, what you see here might not be available, but I've got the administrative privileges, so everything you see is what maybe an owner or manager might see. So you'll see that there's the top, we give you kind of a quick overview of recent orders. So you've got your last 5 or 6 orders that are available. We show you your orders for the past 7 days. You can do it either by order count or total sales volume. You could even take a look at it from the last 2 weeks if you wish as well. And then we also show you upcoming slots. So what's happening today? So you'll see that today at 1 o'clock there is a Eureka Springs tram tour with a capacity of 64 with 61 spaces remaining. And again, you can click on this view button on any of these and it would bring you in further to either the reservation or into that specific departure time as well. Now, also from here, this page is really powerful because right from here you can go and search for an individual reservation if you want by either customer ID, username, or customer name or email address as well. But you're going to notice the most important buttons on here are these buttons right here. You can add a booking, or you can also create what we call these quick res buttons. So maybe you have a tour or an activity that you book more frequently over the phone than anything else, and you can just simply click on the quick book button. It's going to immediately bring you into that quick book page for that tram tour, brings you into your ticket selection page. So that's one way you can use the system to help you be exceptionally efficient, as I said, specifically maybe for those tours or activities that are either your most popular or the ones that you're most likely to take over the phone. Now, I'm actually going to start and we're going to go through the just the ad booking page because there's something here I want to show you. And specifically, this one is set up if you have resellers. And resellers might be third-party sales agents. It could be a hotel concierge or a CVB or somebody who sells your tickets for you. So I'm going to show you how the reseller piece happens. Now, you'll notice when we default in here, it comes into direct booking. But let's say you're on the phone and somebody tells you that they are from the Dick Clark Theater. So when I click on Dick Clark Theater, it's going to track it as that reseller. Now it will also note that I am the person who is taking the reservation over the phone, but we're going to attribute this sale to the Dick Clark Theater. And then it gives me a list of tours or activities that are approved for that reseller to sell. So you'll notice that there's only 4 that are on here. So if I go ahead and click on the Branson Scenic Tour again, it then brings me into my ticketing page. Now, there's a whole other video that we have regarding resellers, and if you'll notice in the setup section, there's this section called resellers. You can set up resellers in a variety of ways. You can set them up as what we call on account, meaning that you will bill them. They will not pay anything up front. You will send them a bill at the end of the month or the week, and they will pay you. Or you can do it with full billing, meaning that the reseller must either provide a credit card or some form of payment that's there as well. So that's a quick little overview of the reseller piece. Now I'm actually going to start back over again, and I'm going to take you through a direct booking because that's how most of your bookings will probably be done in the system. I'm going to go ahead and click on Add Booking. Now in this instance, I actually have 2 sets of tours that are available. You're going to notice that I have both Branson tours and Eureka Springs tram tours. I'm going to go, if I click Eureka Springs tram tours, it's going to give me my one option, which is the Eureka Springs tram tour. But if I click on Branson, it's going to give me my group of tours that are available here. So my Branson Scenic Tour, the Theater Tour, or the Taste of Branson. Now we're going to go ahead and choose the Taste of Branson trip. You'll notice it's kind of like a big funnel. We're going to start with who is it? Is it a direct booking? Tell me where are you going? Is it in this case Branson or Eureka Springs? And then select an activity. Now, if you don't have groups, you're going to go immediately to this select an activity piece. So just depends on the way that you operate your business as to what you would see here as well. Now with this, you'll also notice that we have a couple of different ticket types. Now this one right here, this special VIP, this is a ticket that only shows up internally. It's not available for the consumer to book. Now again, you'll notice we start with choose your tour. Now we're going to actually select the number of people who will be participating in the tour. I'm going to select those tickets. What happens next is it will show me that the dates that are available based upon the number of people who I have selected in that tour. We're going to go ahead and choose the 24th, and we're going to choose the 3 p.m. tour. And now we're just going to kind of follow the bouncing ball. So we start with tickets, if there was extras, anything else that you might cross-sell, if there's any booking information that we need to gather about that. In this case, we didn't have any of that information, but if those are there, and if you watch the consumer booking side where we had a skydive company, you'll notice that we captured some of those extras and booking information that was there. In this case, none of that was necessary for this tour. You're going to notice that we've got 2 tickets for a total of $125. Now, I can also add promotion codes. I can put an adjustment in here. I can add additional bookings to this if I wanted to. So maybe they also want to do, in addition to the Taste of Branson tour, maybe they also want to do the theater tour as well. I could do all of that right from here, but again, I'm going to try and keep this very simple and basic. I'm going to go ahead and click proceed. We are now going to enter the customer information, and then we also have the optional cell phone number, and we capture that because there is an option for you with for a small fee. You can text message guests if you want, and so you can make that as an optional field, or you can choose to make it mandatory if you want. In this case, we've set it up as an optional one, but I'm going to go ahead and hit proceed, which is then going to bring me to the payment section. Now, the difference between the agent side and the consumer side on the payment is obviously on the consumer side, the guest doesn't have a choice. They have to pay with a credit card or a voucher or a gift certificate. But on the agent side, you've got different options. So we can obviously go ahead and do a full payment. We can even do a credit card authorization where we'll take the guest's credit card number, we'll authorize that it is a valid credit card number, but we will not charge their card today. We also have the option to obviously select cash, check, invoice, no payment, or purchase order. And again, you can decide based upon your business. If you don't take purchase orders, we click a button and purchase order doesn't show up in the drop-down list. So we give you the flexibility to manage the types of payments that you take within the system. So in this case, we're actually just going to process this one as a check. And I like these couple of things here that you can do. Now I'm going to put in a little note and said, Sally told me it is her birthday. So we're going to know that it's Sally's birthday. I'm going to go ahead and choose to include that on the attendee report. So when we get into that reporting video, there's a report in there, what we call the attendee report, or essentially the passenger manifest or the guest manifest, who's going to be there at any specific time. You can choose to have little notes added here that you can put into the system that will show up as well. Now, I can also choose to make this provisional if I want, which is something that some of our partners do, which is where we basically take the booking, but we don't necessarily, we pull the seats out of inventory, but we don't necessarily finish the payment process. So it's just a provisional option for you as well. That sometimes works well for people who call you on the phone and say, we're not sure if we're going to do Tuesday or Wednesday. You can put it in as a provisional booking. Now, when I go ahead and hit complete this order, it's going to process that in real time. And if there was a credit card there, it would actually go ahead and process the credit card information, and it's going to come back with my value, in this case, that it's paid. Now, this is the completed reservation page. And I will go into this just briefly, but it is a very powerful page. And this could be found either by searching for it up here or obviously at the end of the booking process that we're in. Now, you'll notice that we've got this kind of navigation that's here. We've got this navigation that's over here. And we also have this drop down here. So regardless of how you end up in a reservation, whether you search for it in the top or you're at the completed section here, there are a number of things you can do with this reservation. Obviously, if a guest calls you need to change the date or time, you can do that. If you need to add tickets, remove tickets, change the status, cancel the booking, you can even go in and view the time slot that's associated with it as well. Here's your information about the customer. We know that it's Sally Jones. We also know that there are 2 attendees, both listed as adults. We've got the payment type here. And if this was a credit card payment, there would also be a button over here that would allow you to issue a refund right from here if you wished as well. We give you a list of all of the emails that have been sent to this consumer. So we have an email that goes out to the customer order confirmation, and then we also, in this case, set it up so that the operator, meaning the person who is the owner or manager of the business, also receives an email confirmation. They get that too. Now we also have pre-departure emails and post-departure emails that can be set up and sent out to the guests. And as time goes on, those emails would show up here as well. Here's my little note about Sally's birthday, and then really important is this history piece. Anytime the reservation has been touched, whether it was amended by one of your staff members, canceled by somebody, or a booking was added, all of the history of that reservation gets added right here. So you will be able to see if a guest calls up and says, I want to move from Tuesday to Thursday, you'll be able to see who did it, what date and time it was done. If a reservation was canceled, you'll be able to see who canceled it, and if a refund was issued and by whom as well. So this little piece right here, again, tons of information and very, very powerful. But you also have the ability to make a few other changes over here. So I could add a promotional code, I can put an adjustment in, I could send an email specifically to this person if I wished, I could send a text message to them, I can add an additional order for this customer, I can view all my order confirmations, I could view an invoice, or I could even, and this is a super admin, is you could delete this order. That's not usually something that's put in there for average users, but is available for us, and it really designed for on test databases as well. So I hope that gives you kind of a quick overview of the agent booking process, of how you can book a reservation, and a little bit about how you can manage it as well. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call at RezSystem. Our phone number is 888-337-0437, or stop by RezSystem.com, and you can even shoot us an email at sales@RezSystem.com as well. Thanks so much.